Hey legends, welcome back to Always All Drive. We join you from a very dusty Lakefield National Park in the Cow Power campground. I'm not sure if I said that right. The last couple of weeks I've been a bit quiet. The reason being, if you've been following my socials, we've been turning an already very capable all-wheel drive territory into what I feel one of the ultimate touring rigs. So in this episode, I'm going to take you through the exterior, the interior, and all the mechanical things we've done so that we can tackle one of the most iconic tracks here in Australia, the Old Telegraph Track, all the way up in Cape York. So I actually haven't had a chance to do the rundown before the trip because it has been so busy, but I'm really excited to show you guys how we prepared an Australian built and Australian designed SUV to tackle an absolute full drive bucket list. So crack over a couple of quad ones and let's get stuck into it. Right, so as you can see, I'm in a different spot. There were issues on the previous camera spot, and now we're here. I won't... yeah. Wasn't a great situation. So, I want to start on the front bar because I've had a lot of questions asked about it. I have a amended Nissan Patrol bar. I don't know which model, so don't even ask me what it is. As you can see, it has been cut and fitted to size. Behind that is a King's Dominator winch, not the extreme model. I've only got the 5.7 horsepower one. Honestly, I think it's more than you need anyway. As you can also see at the bottom here, we've got a bash plate that me and my dad made, and it was a bit of a challenge to make it. It was just a lot of bending to do, and so I've actually got this. So that is 3 mil of aluminium, and it has been bent into 3 different ways. Now, you probably noticed there's little holes in here, and this is actually really interesting because there's a couple of reasons for this. One, airflow. No one talks about airflow through your bull bar. As soon as I first got the bull bar fitted, and here's a picture here, I was overheating. I was just not getting any air through, and if you actually watch Tyler Thompson and a few other videos, you notice that people who do barrel swaps do have issues when it comes to cooling. What I did, drilled 3 holes and 2 more holes at the bottom here. Now, this hole actually has a functional requirement. It means that you can access the free spool, you can twist it really easily. Therefore, in a quick emergency in the river or anything like that, you're ready to go on that winch and you're not going to get stuck, hopefully. Now, you're probably wondering, where's the winch controller? No, I didn't go a wireless one, but I saw what Keith did on his SY, and I really like that nice sleek look on the front bar. So I actually hid the winch controller behind the bull bar. Now, I don't have a wired one. I don't have a wireless one. I just got a wired one. So when I do go off-road, I will have to plug it in behind the bar, run it up, and away we go. So there's a few things that you do have to be mindful of, but overall, that's everything on the front end that we've done. Look at this. So I know this has been a pretend snorkel for a while here, but I finally got a chance a week ago to properly plumb it up. You can see that this is an impromptu sock. Oh yeah, that's also not connected, but we're gonna ignore that. This is actually properly plumbed up into the airbox. The airbox has been sealed with a silicone, and we do use a 3.5-inch aluminium pipe to go from PK Ranger snorkel to an accordion-like AC duct right into the airbox, and I've siliconed the airbox all around as well. And I've also siliconed everything going into the intake. Therefore, when we do hit those big crossings on the Old Telegraph Track, Nolans, I'm looking at you, we are all going to be good. Now, of course, the most important addition to any overlanding trip, the old rooftop tent. So I picked up this King's Grand Tourer Light Edition. It has been an absolute godsend. It is only 180 millimeters tall, and it is a bit wider than my previous one. If you've been tracking me for a long time, I used to have a King's 50 Mark II. I've now since upgraded. I have to say, I absolutely love having a rooftop tent. We've been covering hundreds and hundreds of Ks every day to get to the tip of Australia, and the ease of just popping this up. One thing I did have to do on the Ford territory, the rails are actually way too wide for this, so I did have to amend the rails to be a bit more inwards to suit my existing Rhino roof racks. Now, of course, I've got to bring you to the ensuite. The rooftop tent is the bedroom. This is the ensuite. This is the King's side shower awning thing. I don't really know what to call it. In here, it gives you a lot of privacy. It also, helps if you want to go, have a shower, freshen up, and things like that. Right. So, how do we stay comfortable in the bush? Now, part of my whole thing here, I want to do an always all-wheel drive is Keith does the little hardcore builds. But how comfortable can you do the Telegraph Track? Turns out very comfortably. What we have is a switch. What does the switch do? It turns that on. Now, what does that do? Keeps you refreshed. because this has been heating up all day. Oh, would you look at that? 4 seasons, eat your heart out. During the bush. That's how we stay clean. So you may have noticed in my recent videos, this bad boy. This is a custom-made rear carrier by the man himself, Keith, from Attributions Off-Road. Now, you may have seen on his SX and XY build, he's got just a regular tire carrier. Because I like to be complicated, I have something a bit more complex. We got a tire carrier on your rear, and we also have a jerry can holder on your right. But I know I've seen this asked a few times on the groups. A word of warning, he's not in a rush to make one anytime soon. And honestly, this has made things so much easier. It means that I can finally carry a full-size spare. I can also do my jerry can situation. That goes into a bucket. That goes into my shower system. How good is that? Now, all it is that, do that, swings out, and away you go. No complaints there. So how do we stay connected on these very rural bush travels? So we have a Starlink, and not any Starlink, the mini Starlink. We actually got it for $449. It was on special. I'll put the correct one below. 12-volt DC system, and this is super easy. You go straight into my control box and away you go. It takes around 1.5 amp hours. That's what I've roughly worked it out to be. So don't turn it or keep it on all the time, but just turn it off before you go to bed. For 1.5 amp hours, I found this uses almost less than my fridge. We always have internet connection, and we always stay connected for safety and everything like that. Right, now of course, last but not least on the external features and functionality, we have the June side awning. Now you may be asking, why is it the same? Because I broke the last one. Why did I break it? Because I didn't tie it down. So lesson learned, make sure you tie it down, because here's a picture of it. When you don't tie it down, that's gone, and that's almost gone. So I actually ended up buying the same thing. What we're doing, it's fine. It was only like 80 bucks, 90 bucks, wasn't too bad. Well, this is judging it now. Right, so yeah. Right, so the only main mechanical thing I have done to the vehicle to really help it go through the Old Telegraph Track, and a lot of these tracks as well, it's fit a rear differential locker. A lot of people call these a lunchbox locker in the US, or they also call it an auto locker. What it is that when you accelerate, it locks both axles. When you decelerate, it unlocks it. That's why when you turn corners and things like that, it makes a bit of a click, click, click noise. So to do that, I had to drop the rear differential cradle. Now, as you can see in these images, to drop a diff is no small feat. Now, I don't want to hear any excuses about, any modifications is too hard. I did this in an apartment, with 8 or 9 other cars. So as you can see, it is possible. That's a bit of a rundown on the rig. And this is what we have done to prepare it to take on one of the most infamous, challenging, absolute bucket list four-wheel drive tracks here on this great continent, the Old Telegraph Track up in Cape York. My next video will actually be us doing the Bloomfield track. I'm going to give you a bit of a hint. Don't. So that's going to be coming up in our next video. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy that. If you enjoy what we're doing and you want to keep up to date with all the new content, hit that notification bell. If you like what we're doing, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.